To build a multi-chart report, the appropriate template should be selected from the report builder, which is available from the main menu Reports page. As an example of this type of report, I'm going to create a report that will display charts containing the in- and outbound utilization for each of a collection of ports. I'll need an attributes dashboard to drag my selected attribute from, so I'll duplicate the existing browser tab, select the dashboards, select a port using the Explorer, and then select the attributes dashboard from the All Dashboards menu. Let's sort this in alphabetic order. I'll drag the inbound utilization metric into the first attribute entry in the report builder. Here's the inbound utilization attribute. I'm going to drag it up to the report builder tab, wait for the contents to change, and then drag it down to the first attribute. Let's do that again for the outbound utilization metric. Here's the outbound utilization attribute. I'm going to drag it up to the tab and down to the second attribute entry. Alternatively, I could have used two browser windows and dragged the attributes between them. If I wanted to restrict the report to either a specific component or a small fixed collection of components, then attributes from those components could be dragged into this section of the builder to define that collection. Alternatively, a view can be used to define which components will be included. If you've not made use of the selection facility, as is the case here, you'll need to ensure that the correct object type is selected before you can use the view selection. This defaults to devices, and in my case, I'll need to select ports. I'm going to select the view mode and choose a view. Clicking the Preview button brings up a preview window containing a sample of the report. Although the chart contents look appropriate, there's currently no way to identify which ports they apply to, and the optional tabular section of the report is one way to address that. I'm going to drag the interface description and the device name into two of the tabular attributes. But the table is empty by default, so they must first be created. I'll hit the Add Column button twice to do that. First, I'll find the interface description, and I'll drag that into the first of those tabular attributes, and then the device name. That can go into the second. Looking at the preview of the report confirms that each chart is now appropriately identified. There's another way in which the tabular attributes can be used, and that's to show a summarization of one or more of the time series metrics. Let's add a display of the mean or average for both of the charted metrics. I'll need two more entries for the tabular data table, and I'll go and locate those attributes again. Here's the inbound utilization. I'll place that in the third of these tabular attributes. Here's the outbound utilization, and that can go in the last one. Now I'll click the link in the value column. This allows the aggregation method to be defined. Rather than just taking the last value in the reporting period, I'm going to choose the mean, which is going to average the data over all of the samples in that reporting period. I'll do that again for the outbound. Previewing the results shows the value of this style of presentation. You'll notice that the number of components included in the report can be restricted by defining the maximum number of rows, and there are sorting options available in the tabular section to control the order in which the components are presented. A chart title can be added, which is displayed using a larger, bold typeface, and attributes can be incorporated into that title if needed. There are also several additional ways in which the report can be refined, with many of the more advanced options displayed when the Show Advanced Options box is checked. There are now more options to control the layout of the table, apply additional markup to the output text so that font sizes can be changed, bold and italic text can be displayed, and other such embellishments. There's also an option to allow rules to be added to pick and choose which components to include and which to ignore. Once you're satisfied with the configuration of a report, it can be given a name, although I'm going to leave it default in this example, and then published to the user-defined reports folder, from where it can then be launched and scheduled.